Welcome back to a little bit more on our lovely late IHP show with your 5D mystic chit-chatting about love, self, ego, divine feminine, masculine, and spirituality. So if you did not tune into our other late IHP show, you don't have to, but in that one I was giving you the gist of a 5D mystic. We're grounded in that lovely integration of brain, Christ consciousness, forgiveness, and when we have facades, we know that they could get out of that adaptive child pattern of behavior with a good therapist and get out of the clown faces and the shame stuff, but some don't. Okay, so it's not only about twin flames that we will notice this, it's about our soul mates, over soul, and we don't have to do anything about it. So 4D, 3D collective, they're going to stick around, and they have always these numbers. So like with the twin flames, they got the first and the second and third and the fourth series, and now there's this happening and that happening. And what I have to share with you is, if you speak your truth with intimacy, so if you're being yourself, you will already know about your own journey in the absence of needing to have some group tell you all about how painful it is or not painful. So insecurity and superheroes, supervillains, and those who are saving and have the pseudo-alive cheerleading squad, okay? So I have all the suffering, so they have tragedy. They don't do the dharma bit, they do the karma bit. Those groups, as long as they don't head on over to learn how to love their self first, they won't be learning that very, very soon. With their twin flame or anyone, because you can only learn how to get to your inner child adult once you will have gotten to the grief of not being known by parents. So it's once you see yourself and soothe yourself and you are safe and secure to be yourself that you will have had the capacity to learn finally how to love yourself first. So as Patrick Tiahan points out, you need a specific and guided individual and just a guide to learn how to deeply connect with your inner child and become the parent you've needed all along. Also, that you will not be able to demand that your partner helps you to emotionally regulate while projecting that childhood abuse onto anyone. So when I gave you stories today about how we forgive the 5D collective, those who are ashamed, like, oh shit, I have two phones here, so we don't want them to fall on the floor. But forgiving is a word I use. It's automatic if you have known Christ consciousness and Jesus your entire life, and God, and we're all brothers and sisters, so it's something straightforward. Let me go find our notes, my notes. Okay, so when you're not afraid of shame, you forgive those who are. When you forgive those who are afraid of shame, you also hope that they will spiritually or mindfully lead themselves to heal trauma, the one trauma, more trauma, the trauma that they project. So it's not by themselves, even though their bodies are trying to lead them home. What I've noticed is that those who don't take their self seriously, they continue to live out that, again, the mask. So twin flame, flames, oversoul, soulmates, divine feminines, and divine masculines. I share with you, I'm a divine feminine, and a divine feminine heart and mind. So when you meet a true divine feminine, they will use equanimity, and that means no ill will, and they will have forgiveness, and they will have fun, not a facade. The facade is not there. No, they will do this. I speak my truth, intimacy, always. I don't make up bullshit. You call me an evil bitch, an evil witch, it's okay. You can call me whatever you want. I'm not going to be able to prove my intent, so you're going to keep using your mouth the way you want. But what I'm going to know is that you are a person who is insecure and you're closed off because you're doing superhero, supervillain, and saving or victim or blamer, martyr. You're basically a person who has adaptive child patterns or maladaptive. So a person who is spirituality lives a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. So they're happy consistently. They have enlightened. They are enlightening. They use the 3 pillars of the mind, focused attention. Then there's the awareness, and you know how to handle your body because you have a window of welcome to emotions, not laundry. You use your mindset. You speak your truth. You use the inner growth mindset. You use words. Okay, mindset, and mindfulness. If you're not capable of doing this yet, that's okay. There's therapy for that. Get your EMDR, child parts work, somatic sensory motor going. You wait until you're ready to do emotions. Then people come out and say, I want to do it. Okay, so mystics, we have clairs, and those of us who expand, it's because we have forgiveness in the heart, and we have this. So we don't talk about people that have insecurity as devils or demons or monsters. No, we don't say someone is doing evil work, devil work, demon work. We don't do any of the conspiracy stuff that the 4D, 3D talk about. That's what I'm trying to get, hopefully, for you to understand. Our group is that we're all humans, and that you have human eyes, and I do too. And that if you have those so-called dead eyes, or if it's an actual term, it's because your fight-flight response. It's sad. That makes me sad. Maybe you're armored shut, and that means you can still get saved with a good therapist, not with me. You can get out of the hellhole with a good therapist, not walking around with your mouth. Okay, so when people want to use their mouth like facades, they don't remember there is the free will to choose. But there's also a lack of education and information. And so 4D with their 144 twin flames or 144,000 chosen ones and all those groups, well, groups are facades. They're not speaking truths. Groups are facades because their clown mask is basically going to be very visible the minute that you talk to them about different mystics, because that's why they've been calling the New Age people Luciferian era, or the Reiki masters Luciferian. So when you meet individuals that are part of these 4D groups, I've met a couple and more, and then I've started to notice how they call all of those who are different than them, and I'm like, wow, way to keep using stories. What the heck? And so we'll conclude with, like I was telling you about my friend, understanding how to work with facades is simply put that I will get to have a clown who's a facade, and that will be somebody that I will be able to work with Kuskum Pacha, and then I will have a person and people who are happy, and they're not a clown. Those are the fun. There's the fun people. They're intelligent, they're authentic, they don't lie, they don't do inconsistencies. You don't have to be concerned with them, like with my friend who for the nth time, I'm trying to say be yourself, and then I'm finding out not only that you're not yourself, but that every single bit of the information that I shared about my journey as a mystic is something that bored you or bores you. You don't believe in it. So I've poured my heart and soul out to you, and you have given me what is a waste of my time and your time. And your facade helped no one and supported no one. And so I learned from my friend how not to, one, address it, but also to notice it. And then from the therapist, how to definitely know to leave it alone. Because I'm not your therapist, and even if I'm a mentor, I'm not your therapist. I'm a mentor. I'm supporting you with the next steps. The therapist is what you want to make sure you hone in on if you have human suffering in here, because that gut wrench, torn apart stuff won't go away just with the snap of your fingers. It takes a specific certain amount of years for integration of the brain to happen. It's beautiful as it happens. Then it takes you wanting to be truly happy, not to pretend. And we have a Zen master who talks to you all about laundry. So people who choose that they don't think of emotions in neutral ways. There's plenty of people, I've met them. So they don't want to do mindful living. They say, you sound like you only want to do one emotion, Maria. That's what people will misunderstand when I tell them how amazing life is. And that's because they don't understand how to do emotions from their prefrontal cortex. And so they think I'm saying sad, mad, or bad. I'm saying there's ways to do emotions maturely, and it's amazing. And you're doing emotions with a biochemistry of fear, and you are not half of the human being you can be because you've decided to do the, let me use some cliche fucking sentence about emotions and some songs and some teenage attitude, play the superhero, supervillain and the saving card and the bad world and good and bad, and let me stay in a devil, not devil, good and bad story, close off my heart every time some shit. I stub my toe, turn my back on God. See, Maria, everything's bad. And I just make tragedy again and again and again. That's what the distorted divine masculines and distorted divine feminines, that's distortion because of their facade. But let me conclude with letting you know that divine masculines in the making are the ones who reclaim their self. They become their adult inner child. That's when you're going to meet a divine masculine. It's once they know how to regulate their nervous system. So mystic or not, they know how to expand, they know how to forgive, they know that they're worthy, they know how amazing it is, and they're always having a good time, and they're not a clown. They share their truth with intimacy. So that's what an optimized divine feminine and divine masculine will do. The reason we have gotten here, by the way, yes, we can thank that we have spirituality, and I will say we can thank that we have stories, but above all, we can thank sciences for proving that there's no demons inside the bodies of people, and for continuing to believe in humanity, and for continuing their education, their bachelors, their masters, their PhDs, to continue what they began a long time ago. Dr. Daniel Siegel gets chased down hallways. Stephen Porges didn't publish a book because the publishers told him that people wouldn't want to hear how love is when you have secure attachment, not drama. And he's in the lab looking into the polyvagal theory to build quantitative data analysis. So people who want to use their mouths to basically just keep ancient stories going about devils and demons, and then to say that sciences prove, I've seen people distort statistics recently of the narcissist and say, I have proof that narcissists don't change. Now, while I'm the first one who says I don't change, it's because I'm a piece of expanding consciousness and I have a base, a foundation, which is pure and which is basically who Maria is here to be. You'll know yours when you get to your purity, and then you'll have access to your own divine feminine and your divine masculine. And that's where, again, we have both sides, but you'll know which one you are of your oversoul. As the divine masculine refuses to listen to feelings, and they, like my friend, will minimize the divine feminine. They will also get upset when we not only tell them the truth and we will be right. And so they get passive aggressive. They will consistently also deflect. Like my friend has done more than just once. This famous friend of mine, in one of the instances, he said, it sounds like you're saying that you know what the right choice is, and that if it's not this way, then it's wrong. Yeah, pretty much I do, because you refusing to become yourself means you're not going to live the best life ever. So technically I am right, not in a fake way, but I'm not right to inform. No, I'm not right to say that a state of consciousness has to live their expansion. They don't have to live this with this. They don't have to do this at all. Oh, and please, they don't have to do this. Let them continue living this clown asshole-ish facade as they continue with superheroes and supervillains and want me to hear about devils and demons and how horrible life is, and let me hear their suffering little tale with tragedy. Yeah? Okay, so this is why we got our two groups. Bare minimum, human love, human suffering. So human love, you know the difference is, I use my prefrontal cortex. So emotions, they're here. I'm just knowing how to be a master with my body. This mindful living, spirituality living, is what it is to be, whether mystic or not. Any smart sciences person, like a Dr. Daniel Siegel and neuroscientists, they can tell you why enlightenment is amazing and not supernatural. People who need a reason to not do emotions because they don't want to, because they think that by smiling and knowing how bliss works, that you're lying or it's not possible, they have all the other content. So, you know, as we move forward, you still choose. Why? Does anybody know what free will is? And this is why I love Robert Sapolsky. He has a book, Determined. You're still going to have free will. You have free will because you have the will to heal, and if you don't want it, you won't get it. And if you don't want it and don't get it, there's plenty of 3D, 4D vibing people where you can be a facade with them, and it's no different because people will think of us as facades. That's why I love smart people. Because when you can present to them equations, you'll always know what they know, which is, but you could be on that side of the coin. Yes, I could, but I know the difference because my side of the coin doesn't do the clown where I'm hiding Maria. No, I don't have a fragile ego, fragile self. I don't have the need to gossip about people. I don't have this superhero, supervillain, or saving cape. I don't have insecurities or story for you. I don't have tragedy for you, okay? I have a story. No, I have a name, and then I have what is called a truth. And so the difference is the authentic person who knows how to forgive, have self-worth, live expansion, and mystic or not, we have a good time. And here's the other part about what life is. It's simple. And it's only in this lifetime that I will be Maria. And smart people, when they make smart points, I say, yep. Which is why would I ever choose my left mode to say, I have laundry in my head, I have laundry in my head. Hey, what's up? I got sadness going on. Ooh, really? What happened, Maria? Well, I got rejected again. This time it was this person, so I've been rejected. I was rejected at my 4 years of age. The boys said yes to my twin, and they said no to me. So you can only imagine. Then I was dumped by my teenage boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure they all think that I am like traumatized like anybody else does. That doesn't understand that I'm not, and that I'm not pretending to smile. I love when you traumatized from your twin flames. No. They gave me a lot of good practice. And I love my soulmates too. So when you do know love, you never grow tired of it, which is why there's this rabbi, he totally doesn't know what feminines are. But that's because he doesn't know this divine feminine. So when you will meet a divine feminine, a true one, we look back and say, wow. 1 month after my boyfriend broke up with me, I was like, yes, she did me a favor, yay. And that's because if it's that easy for you to get captured, man, really, you're a facade of everything that I don't have. I'm not a facade. Again, I'm happy on a high, I'm going places. So when you know how to continue to appreciate the life that you got gifted, I learned as a kid with God, hey, I gave you life, don't disrespect it. I remember I also would wake up very upset from my sleep because I'm like, I don't want to die. And then I would think, okay, I'm going to make the best of every day so that I can make sure to go to sleep where I made the best of every day. So I started doing Dharma without even knowing the word and mindfulness. So this is why you choose. I chose love. I chose happiness. I chose it here. And I said, okay, let's be a pair, ego self. How are we going to do it? It was easy. So you choose, and when people want to be in drama land, I say, well, you can choose to do that. Your wheel sounds very interesting. And so you're going to still have free will, because what would life be if you didn't have dark matter and dark energy? Divine feminines will know why we have divine masculines. And no matter what they bring us, a divine feminine knows how to really smile. And that's because of having, again, the capacity to speak your truth, but that's because of being intimate with yourself. So when I got to have clairs, I wasn't ashamed. And it didn't matter that people made whatever words they made up. And of course, you'd appreciate when people respect. But again, my friend, he's a perfect example. To me, it was very disrespectful to have me speaking hours and hours on things and then you never once telling me I don't want to hear about it because you minimized something that is part of who I am. So it's obvious, again, I don't use words for that reason because my friend is not culpable of his own insecurities. He didn't do anything except for allow himself to not speak up. But that's what people who don't take themselves to good trauma therapists, they don't know how to speak up. They don't know how to tell you another story. I could give so many. There's this one friend, she's a lovely friend of mine. I found out eventually she didn't really appreciate hugs, but at first she didn't tell me. So I saw this human being scurrying off and running away from me twice or 3 times. By the third time, like, I don't know, maybe I'm imagining things. Oh, who cares? It'll be fine. And then when I found out, I apologized and I said, I'm so sorry. I've been hugging you every time. Please forgive me for disrespecting your space. I didn't know. So I did the right thing. In my head, I'm thinking, you could have just said, hey, you seem very, this is where I understand, because obviously I could be like, oh, how offensive. But still, if you have something that's important to you, you mention it. And there's many creative ways. So I have many ways that I will make sure that what I am going to say is as clear as can be. But I have so many stories that I would keep you here for more and more. So I won't. We'll be back with more. Thank you for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe if you do enjoy mindful living, self-help living, spirituality living, and a 5D mystic, because I do bring you some funny stories, a lot of them. You might be right. I may be crazy, and maybe you are looking for a lunatic, but the reality is, I'm going to say none of us are really crazy. None of us are loony, but if we really must use those words, then we can say lunatic, crazy in the funny way, and that we care about mental health in the serious way, and that all people are healable. Personality disorders. Dr. Daniel Fox is really great as a resource if you need that. Again, thanks for stopping by, and please do come back again if you enjoyed. See you soon.